Yes, in this video, you are going to learn how you are going to prove a quadrilateral as a square, right? What are the steps? First, you take quadrilateral. That quadrilateral should prove it is a parallelogram. How we can prove it is a parallelogram? We can prove it's a parallelogram by saying that one pair of parallel sides is equal equal and they are parallel. If you prove that one pair is equal and parallel, then it is a parallelogram. Or two pairs of parallel side, that is one side is parallel and another side is parallel, then two pairs of parallel side means it is a parallelogram. Then two pairs of equal sides. If you prove this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side, if you prove like that, two pairs of equal side means then that is a parallelogram. Or diagonals bisect each other. That is, here you see this is O. If you take this is equal to this and this is equal to this, if you prove, then that is a parallelogram. So you have to prove like this to make it as a parallelogram. Now after that parallelogram, you have to prove it is either as a rhombus or a rectangle. How to prove it is a rhombus? For rhombus and parallelogram, you have to prove that all sides are equal. What you have to prove is all sides are equal. Next, otherwise you have to prove the diagonals bisect at right angles. If the diagonals bisect at right angles and all sides are equal, then if the diagonals bisect at right angles and all sides are equal, then the parallelogram will become rhombus. Otherwise, the parallelogram will become rectangle if you prove that all the angles are 90. If you prove that all the angles are 90, if you prove, then that parallelogram will become a rectangle. Or you can prove by telling that diagonals are equal, telling that what diagonals are equal. That is how, you see this diagonal, if you take this diagonal and this diagonal is equal, means we can say that it is a rectangle. If you prove that the diagonals are equal, then it is a rectangle. So after proving parallelogram, after proving this is a parallelogram, then you have to prove it is a rhombus or rectangle. After proving it a rhombus or rectangle, then you have to prove it is a square. How to prove a square? You said it is a rectangle. After that rectangle, what you have to do, no? If you tell that all sides are equal, all sides are equal and all sides are equal means, if you tell all sides are equal, then it is a what? Then it is a square. If a rectangle is a square, if all sides are equal. Otherwise, you can say that already we know that the diagonals are equal in a rectangle and square. Diagonals bisect at right angle. If you prove that, then that rectangle will become a, then this rectangle will become a square. From rhombus, how you will prove it is a square? Nothing you have to do. You have to prove that all angles are 90. You have to prove that all angles are, that is all angles are 90 in a rhombus, then it is a square. And you should have to prove in a rhombus the diagonals are equal. If the diagonals are equal in a rhombus, then it is a, diagonals are equal in a rhombus, then it is a square. So I think you should have, you might have understood how to prove this. First, you have to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Then from parallelogram, you have to prove it is a rhombus or rectangle. Then that rectangle and rhombus will be proved as a square after proving that all sides and all sides are equal and diagonals are equal, diagonals bisect at right. Thank you all.